and welcome to No U-Turns BBQ Edition. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, obviously traveling, camping is not going to happen for us this summer. So what we thought we'd do is add in a barbecue edition where we'll be in our outdoor kitchen most of the time, and we'll cook you some, hopefully some good food. Today we're looking to do a porchetta with a Salsa Verde sauce on it, and we're going to make those into sandwiches once the pork is all cooked up. We got the smoker on. We got the RDX, Ryder RDX from Oklahoma Joe. Right now we're just sparking it up. We've got some applewood, New England applewood in there, and we're going to get it up to 225. Once we get it to 225, we're going to have a nice smoke. We're going to get the tomatoes and the onions. We're going to get those on the rack. We're going to only smoke them for about 15 minutes. We don't want it too smoky. So as I said, with the tomatoes, we're just going to cut them in halves so that they're able to get that nice smoke on the smoker. Once we got these all cut up, we'll be able to move to the next step, which is then going to be the onion. I'm going to cut it in half. We're just going to use that piece. You want to keep the root on so it stays into one piece so it doesn't fall apart on the grill. And then we're just going to cut this into 2/4. Lay the tomatoes face down so they can get that nice smoke flavor going in there. So we've had the tomatoes and the onions smoking for about 15 minutes. You see in here some nice color, the onions starting to get soft. Now we got to get these soft enough so that we can put them in the food processor and then get them to be able to give you that good smoke flavor. So we're going to turn the heat up here now. We're going to close the door, jack up the heat to 400 degrees. Alright, so we got tomatoes are roasted, cooked, onions are cooked. We're just going to take them off the grill. Alright, so our poblanos are now done. They're nicely charred. They look fantastic. So we're just going to take them off the grill real quick. We're going to put them into a Ziploc bag. We're going to steam those so that then we can remove the skin from them, the veins and the seeds. And then we're going to put them inside our Salsa Verde. So we're just going to seal these up. We're going to let them sit for about 15 minutes. While we're doing that, we're going to get the rest of the stuff inside the mixer. So basically what we got now is we have the onions, the tomatoes, and some. I'm gonna put the tomatillos right into the mixer. You can see how juicy they are. We're gonna have great juice from these up, just to get them into smaller pieces, and then the mixer will dice them up into smaller. What we do then is basically take a look there. We're just gonna dice this up into small batches. We just want to get this aromatics into the dip. Alright, so the poblanos have been sitting in their steam bath, so we're just going to pull them out of the Ziploc bags. As you can see, they're almost starting to fall apart already. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut these open, cut the ends off, because we don't want that part. So we're just going to cut these off. We're going to split it open, and we're just going to peel out the veins and the seeds. We don't want any of that. The food processor. So now we got it on the pooper. We haven't added any salt. We haven't done anything. Last piece we're going to do is we're just going to add in that lime juice that we talked about. So we're just going to squeeze that in, get that nice fresh flavor in there. We're just going to put the lid on, and we're going to pulse this to get it all nice into puree. Now we're just going to do a quick taste here. We're going to see what we got. Do we need a little bit of salt? Definitely needs a little bit of salt. So we're just going to add a little bit of kosher salt on that. And then we're going to just add a little cracked pepper just to give it that little bit of flavor. We're going to give it another quick pulse. And once that's done, we hopefully fully flavored it. Let's take it out, take another quick tip. Oh, that's perfect. So we're just gonna leave this for now. So we're gonna get a little bit of parsley. So we're just gonna cut off the leaves. We're gonna cut this down. We want this to be aromatic, the aroma of these. So we're gonna just chop these up nice and fine. Gonna put a little bit of thyme. So we're gonna pull the thyme out. We're gonna need approximately 4 tablespoons of thyme. So we're just gonna, you know, basically pull all the good stuff off the thyme. So anytime you can try to use that fresh herb, certainly do so. So we got all our fresh herbs here. So we're just gonna pile this up over here. We're just gonna keep it on our cutting board, because once we combine it all, we're gonna grab some rosemary. Same thing, 4 tablespoons of the rosemary. This is super fresh, so you're getting some great aromas. Gonna put a, like I said, my science isn't perfect. I use what I think I need. So then I've got this stuff right here. We got the parsley. So we got parsley, rosemary, the thyme. We're just gonna chop this up to get the aromas out of them, get the oils flowing through them. And then we're just gonna leave it to the side. We're gonna get ourselves 8 cloves of garlic. Gotta love that garlic. You're gonna get some great flavor. So here what we're gonna do is just gonna really chop this really fine, and then we're gonna throw the pork onto that when we're ready. So, oh, and I guess the Hulk has come out to join us today. He's gonna do some smashing of the garlic. So let's hope the Hulk is a good man and can smash that garlic. So there's the garlic. We got it. So we're just gonna take our blade and we're just gonna basically start smushing this down and just creating a slight paste. It's not the easiest, so you're just gonna take your time. This is not a race. If you're in a race when you're barbecuing, you're gonna be in trouble. Herbs, and then it's gonna become one big mix, and then we're gonna mix that into on top of the pork when we got it. So we're just gonna, again, finally chop this in. So you're gonna see you got all these aromas in right now. You got some great flavors going on there. So the next thing we gotta add is we're gonna add some lemons. Most people always think that you put too much lemon. In this recipe, this is a nice piece of pork, a lot of fat. So we're gonna want some good lemon zest. So this is straight lemon zest, that's all we want. And then our last piece is we're gonna use half an onion. We're just gonna take off the ends here, peel it at the same time, and then we're just gonna dice it into a fine dice. Gonna dice it as best as I can. I don't have a fancy way of doing it yet. So let's roll this out again. So we got the meat here. So we're just gonna lay this out. We're gonna lay the herbs first. We're gonna add in those onions. So we're just gonna cover this up with the onions. And this is all about to taste, right? It's not about set recipes. This is all gonna be to test. So now we're gonna put that zest, and this is gonna soak into that pork, and it's gonna give it that good refreshing flavor. Some ground pork. We're just gonna add it on top. It's like building a pizza. We're just gonna keep building flavor after flavor after flavor on top of each other, and it's just gonna give you that great. So we're just gonna add in that nice fresh Parmesan that we've got. Gonna try to alternate so that it fits nicely. And then we got our final piece. So we got our bacon in. And all right, this will be probably 2 more pieces of porchetta, of the prosciutto into the porchetta, and we should be done here for stuffing it. Like I said, we're gonna take this meat and we're gonna roll this onto the fat side. It's gonna get really fat and big. And this is gonna be the tricky part. You gotta keep all the stuffing in. Alright? And basically we're just gonna tie this up now. That's the idea. You're gonna cook it like a roast. So we're just gonna take this. We're just gonna take this. We're gonna tie her up. We're gonna tuck this underneath here. And then we're gonna add some, obviously some good rub to this for the cooked. So what we got here is we're gonna do a little double header here. What we're gonna do is just drizzle a slight amount in my hands, and we're just gonna pat it down. Just get a nice oil to it so that we can get the rub to adhere to it. Give it a bonding. All right. So we got all that. Got ourselves our olive oil. We're just gonna add now we'll add a little bit more of that so we can get that meat. Now we're gonna add the Killer Hogs barbecue rub. Now we want this, and this is gonna be a nice thick coating because we want this to really create that nice crackle on there with some great flavor on that fat. So we're just gonna pat it down at the same time that we're rubbing this on. We're gonna get this onto the grill here. We're gonna put it on a second rack. We're gonna let it sit there. So we're just gonna grab it and we're just gonna put that nicely on there. This out. Look at this gorgeous piece of meat here. Wow, great. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna use this and we're gonna torch it a bit and get it that nice crispy outside that we want. And we're just gonna start giving that fat that nice couple of minutes. We'll get nice little ends on it. Take the strings out because we don't want that. We're gonna cut this piece of meat open, take a look and see what we got. So let's just cut this right in the middle here. And look at that, we got a beautiful piece of meat. Look at the juices squeezing out of that. We just got juice and juice and juice of coming out. This is gonna be a great piece of meat. All right, thanks a lot. You guys have a great day, and thanks again for watching the barbecue edition of No U-Turn.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.